Centennial year of celebrations while she was managing the day-to-day operations of the museum. When you meet her, this is my own impression, you always think that she is so confident. She's so quietly confident. And she has a radiant personality that would light up a room. And it was exciting to meet her the first time I met her. She is a graduate of Vanderbilt University in Nashville. She has worked in the art world and in architecture also at New York and Phoenix. And 7 years ago, she became part of this mansion. I guess I could say it that way. She really is part of it. She became the operations manager and then the interim director, and she is now the executive director. Under her leadership, attendance has grown to almost 80,000 visitors a year. And I told you the great turnout they had for the free day back there in February. Just 5.5 days, 8,000 people.
Oh, sure.
One of her goals is to give us, those of us who have already visited or toured the mansion, a reason to return. That's one of her goals. And I can't think of a better person to come and give us a vision of the next 100 years of the Pittock Mansion than Marta. Marta?
Thank you, Mike. I'm really excited to be here tonight, and I have another story to share with you. I spent the earliest part of my childhood in New York State. My mom taught high school English, and she loves literature, culture, and travel. So that meant when I was about 6 years old, we went to the American Museum of Natural History in New York. And I saw the blue whale model that is almost 100 feet in length, suspended from the ceiling of the Hall of Ocean Life. This tent is about 100 feet wide, so it's huge. And I was really transformed. I thought, wow, it's like being in the ocean with this whale. And being able to go somewhere like that and be transported like that, I really felt like I was hooked. So I don't remember ever really thinking about what was I going to be when I grew up. I just knew that I wanted to work in a museum. My parents have always been really supportive, and they taught me it didn't matter what we had or what we didn't have, or what I looked like, or where I grew up, but if I got a good education and I really applied myself, I could be and do whatever I wanted. So, as Mike said, I've been here for 7 years. I came to the mansion for my interview, and that was when the nonprofit took over the daily running of the museum. I had just pulled into town a couple of weeks before coming up for that interview, and when I left, I knew I didn't want to work anywhere else. I was hooked because Pittock Mansion was so beautiful, and I could see the potential here. Because there was a great vision for transforming this museum, and because of what I could see Pittock Mansion could be for the community. Recently, we did a visitor survey, and we found out that only about 11% of the people coming here consider themselves museum goers. That means that Pittock Mansion has the potential to be somebody's first museum experience. And that means we have a really great potential to connect with people. So a visit to the mansion could mean that somebody else gets hooked on history or architecture, Portland, or maybe the idea that if they dream big and work really hard, they can make it and transform their lives or their business like Henry did. We at the museum decided to focus on Portland history and be sure that Pittock Mansion remains relevant, engaging, and meaningful. We updated our mission statement, which is to inspire understanding and stewardship of Portland history through Pittock Mansion, its collections and programs. We wanted to share stories that connect with people because Pittock Mansion is full of stories. Stories of the Pittock family, stories that embody the growth and culture and spirit of Portland. Mike shared a few details about Henry and Georgiana, but Henry was an entrepreneur. He loved the outdoors, which is why we're here tonight, because he chose this beautiful setting. He loved hiking and biking. He was adventurous. He actually took a plane ride in Santa Barbara in 1917 when he was in his early 80s, which I would never do. I would never have done. He was very civically engaged. He was a Royal Rosarian. And Georgiana, she had a very giving nature, and she was vivacious. She supported social causes and was very community-minded. She helped found ladies' relief groups, and as Mike said, had a rose show in her yard that was the inspiration for the Rose Festival we now have. Pittock Mansion itself shows off local materials and the work of local artisans. It has modern innovations at a time when Portland was transforming into a major city. It grew from a population of 970 people when Henry arrived to over 200,000 when he died in 1919. Fast forward to the present, and in 2011, we began working with several museum experts to help launch Pittock Mansion's next 100 years. We want visitors to engage with history, to ask questions, to ponder the information, to connect the past to the present and their lives today, and to leave wanting to know more. So we're in the midst of making some improvements. You may have noticed some of them coming up the drive, new signs outside, new directional signs inside. We're also overhauling the permanent exhibit to bring out compelling storylines, like what was Portland like in 1914, and how does that relate to us today? What new technologies were built into that house? And what values do the Pittocks have that are still shared by Portlanders today? We'll add interactive elements. Peter mentioned a stereoscope. We're going to have a stereoscope that visitors can use. And all of that will be installed by the end of October. That will make the experience much more engaging, relevant, and inspiring. And then after that, we're going to work on harnessing the power of technology. We'll update our website, and using smartphones or tablets, we'll add depth to the storylines that people can experience. Give people more opportunities to engage and explore before and after their visit. Looking further into the future, we will add snack service and expanding public programs through community partnerships. We know visitors want to know more about music, food, history, art, and outdoor activities when they come to Pittock Mansion. We're going to continue to serve as a steward for the mansion. We work closely with Portland Parks and Rec in the city to address the needs of the building, and our successful terrace repairs recently were our initial effort and a great model for the future. So I'm really excited and proud of what we're doing to prepare Pittock Mansion for its next 100 years. As we've been working on this celebration, I have stopped and thought several times that it just is mind-boggling to think about what might be happening in 2114. And what might happen between now and then. But I think if people like you and me are here, enjoying this rich beauty and culture and history, caring about what this mansion represents, about our past, and seeing it as an inspiration for our future, I'm sure that we, tonight, will have been part of an important chain of people stretching from Henry and Georgiana, to Peter, to Allie, and you and me, to our kids, our grandkids, and our grandkids' kids, who all agree that Pittock Mansion is a vital part of our community. So thank you so much for being here with us tonight. And if you have any questions, of course Allie's over there, but I'm over here.